Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video in SQL Server. Today we are going to learn about the group by and having keywords in SQL Server. What is a group by and a having command in SQL Server? Let's say for an example, you have a table of employees. You need to group all the employees based on gender. Let's say for example, you need to group all the males as a separate group and females in a separate group. You can use group by to group these things in categories. So you can use group by in such cases, and the having class is used to filter the values, like using a var class in your select statement. You can use having class wherever you use a group by condition. So let's say detailed about this group by and having class with examples in our SSMS. Let's get into that. So I am inside my SSMS. I have connected to my database. Here I have my table creation script and some insert statements. So without any delay, let's create this table first and let's execute all these insert statements. So 14 rows has been inserted into my sales table. So let's select the value. Let us use this select command. So now you can see that I have a sales table with categories, products, amount and sales date column, and we have 14 rows in this table. So I need to show the category wise data. For an example, here I have electronics, clothing, books. So I need to group all this and show the records. You can achieve this by using the group by command. Say for select star from sales. Let's say I need the sum of the sales amount. Sum of sales amount from the sales. So this sum aggregation function will returns me the sum of all the values present in this table. So it will calculate the sum. It will adds up all the amount in this table and returns the value. So I need the sum of the amount based on the categories. So if I provide category over here in this select statement and select this along with this statement, it shows an error which says sales.category is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either an aggregate function or in a group by class. It says that if a selection value in your query is in an aggregate function, then the other function need to be an aggregate function or it has to be included in the group by class. So as the category is a string value, we cannot use any aggregation function. So we can group this categories and provide the value. Let's group by the categories. So while executing this statement, you can see all the values in the categories has been grouped based on the category books, clothing and electronics, and the related elements amount has been added up and shown in this column. You can also provide the sum value as with an alias name as total amount. So this will returns the category and total amount in each categories. In books we have 850 and clothing 2000, electronics 2950. So group by is used to group the values based on the condition you have provided. Here I have provided I need to group the values based on the category. So if I provide product in this group by command, what will happens? It shows an error that you have provided the group by in the product in the group by list, but you haven't provided category in the list. So if you need the category, you need to provide this in group by class, or you need to use an aggregate function. So now for an example we can use the product. So based on the product it will returns the sum of the amount. As the products are unique, it has provided me the individual elements. So let us stick with the category column. So now you can see the table values has been grouped based on the categories. You can also use order by in this to order the results based on the category. So it has been arranged in order. So you can also provide multiple groupings. For an example, if you have other columns which also allows you to group the values, you can provide a comma and provide the next column value, the next level of hierarchy where you need to perform the group by action. So as of now in this table I have no hierarchy level of grouping. So let's take some other examples. So I need a scenario where I need to display the group category value and its product along with its price. Once all the products in the category has been entered, I need to show a row which displays the total value of the particular group. So we can use the grouping set in such cases. So let's say I need to select the category and product and sum of the amount. I also include the product in the select list. I've included the product from the sales, and I need to group by with the category column. So you can use the grouping set. Now you can provide on which basis you need to provide the group by first. I need to group the values based on the category, and I need to display the total based on the category and products. Once the all the products in this category has been entered, I need to display the total. So I can provide this category and product here, and let's close this. So now you can select this query. You can see I got the books category first and all the products listed and their relevant prices. And in the fifth line you can see that I got the books category, and here is a null value which gives me a total value of this particular books value. So let's use isNull function to display if the value is null. I need to provide this as total. So now let us execute this. So now you can see that I got the all the book categories in this, and their products in the next row, their prices. Once all the products in the books category has been entered, the total price has been generated in the next row. So again, just like the books, I have the clothings, and once all the products in the clothing has been entered, it has displayed the total value in the next row. Just like that, we have also provided the total value for the electronics. So you can use the grouping sets to group the values in this order. So also I need another row in this select statement which displays all the grand total. So you can use the roll up function in this group by to get that. Roll up is an inbuilt function which allows you to find such results. Let's group the value by the category and the product. Now let me execute this. Now you can see we got the same result as the previous query. Here we got another extra row which displays the grand total of all the products. So let's again provide isNull. If you don't understand what is this isNull function do, let's watch the previous videos where I have explained all those inbuilt functions in SQL Server. So now you can see at the last row you got the grand total which displays all the total price of the groups category available for me. So you can perform group by action in all these ways to group your values based on the columns. So what is a having statement? Let's say for example you have this select statement and this too. Let me place here. So while executing this statement, I got all the rows. I just only need the books category. What we can do is we can usually use the var class and provide the category as books. So when I execute this, I can filter out only the books value in this table. So you can use var class in these select statements. So while using this group by, you can also use the var class here before the group by command, var the category equal to books. So this will return only the book category. We can also get the same result by using the having statement. So now let's execute this statement. So this will returns the same result as this select statement. Let's see what is the exact difference between this having and the var class. You can use the var class in a select statement, an update or an insert or delete statement, anything, but you can use the having command only in the select statement, because the having command only can be used while you use your group by statement. Usually you will use the group by statement whenever you select a value. So the having class can only be used in a select statement, but you can specify the var class to filter the values for your update or even a delete command in your SQL Server query. And the major difference between the performance related to the var and having is, the var, when I execute this statement, the var class will checks each row in the table and filters whether the category is books, and it checks each row and then it will returns the value for me. So when I using this having statement, it is after the group by statement. So while the query is executing, the group by statement will be got executed. So this statement will be filtered by this group by statement. So the having function will work only in this grouped value. So the filtering will be even more fast when compared to the var class. So your performance of the query will be faster while you use having class instead of using the var class in your group by query. So both of the statement returns the same value. We have only 14 rows, so we don't see much difference in the query execution. If you have a big query dataset, then you will find the major difference between this having and the var class. And again, an important thing in and difference between this having and var class is that you can use the aggregation conditions only in the having class. You cannot provide any aggregation comparisons in your var class to filter your values. Let's take an example. We can select this sales value. So I need to return all the records in the sales table where the average amount of the sales need to be greater than this selected value. Let's say for example, where I need to provide the average amount. We can use the avg function, which is an inbuilt function to find the average. We can provide the amount column where average of amount where the amount is greater than average of the amount. So when I execute this, it shows an error that an aggregate may not appear in var class unless it is an subquery contained in an having class or a select list. So it says me that you cannot use aggregate functions in var class unless you enclose this aggregation function into a subquery or a select statement, or you can use the having class to achieve this. So you cannot directly access this by using the var class. You can use subqueries instead to achieve this. Select average amount from the sales and then you can compare this with the values to execute the statement. So you cannot directly compare an aggregated function in your var class unless you use this command inside a subquery. So now apply the same logic in this group by command. Now you got the sales, sum of the amount we have provided in the select statement. Sum of the amount need to be greater than the average of the sales amount. So it says that you cannot use the aggregated function inside your var class unless it is enclosed in a subquery. It shows the same error, but when you use this in a having class, let's provide this here. So you need to provide the having class after this group by. If you need to provide the var class, you need to provide before this group by. So now you can see this statement has been executed. We can use the aggregation function in having class, but you cannot use an aggregate function in your filter command where you use the var command to filter out your values. You can just use your column names, but you cannot provide any aggregated values to filter out your queries. So you have seen what is the use of a group by class in your select query. You can group the result set based on your particular order. We can give multiple grouping values by specifying comma and give the next hierarchy level of grouping, and you can use the grouping sets and roller to group the values and get the sum of the specific category, and you can use the having class to filter out the values instead of var class where it is quick, and you can and having class is more compatible when you are using group by in your query statement. So I hope you have understood the group by and having class and how you can use this in SQL Server to achieve certain logics in your queries. Let me provide the GitHub link in the description. You can find the solution, and you can do the exercise which I have provided. Thank you for watching.